Do you do all of your research in the morning, Marion, or do you start it at night and then continue it the next day?
No, I do a lot. I do some of it at night. I don't know if you never noticed the blog. Sometimes I have it. I have a draft in there at night
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times especially the earnings, the day before earnings. You know, so last night's earnings. A lot of times I'll start it at night and go through because sometimes some of those transcripts are really difficult to read. They don't have good writers, or so it takes a while to get through them. And so I find that if there are too many earnings at night, I get overwhelmed, and then I don't have enough time in the morning, even if I get up at like 4:30. So if I know there's a lot of earnings at night, I'll go and do them at night, and I'll read some of them. And a lot of times I just read them and take notes too. You
Mm-hmm.
know. Um,
My game planning is always a lot easier when I start it the night before.
Yeah, yeah, and then I don't have to worry about that. And of course, I already know the economic calendar so that I can get that set up. I look for what Fed speakers are coming out. And yeah, I feel much more, I don't feel as anxious in the morning sometimes um, if I'm not sitting down at 5:30 and starting, then I'm extremely anxious that I'm not going to get everything done.
Yeah, anxious is a good word. When you feel like you're rushing it, you don't have any conviction behind your ideas, then you're just throwing stuff into the list.
Right, and then I'll start. Like I actually like taking the laptop into bed with me at night, and then I just start going through charts. And I have a notepad that I sit on the side and make notes. And then in the morning I go over it again and see if my thought from last night was right in the morning. I'm actually a morning person, so a lot of times there's more clarity in the morning. I'm not a night person at all.
Yeah, I'm absolutely in the same camp as you. I'm in bed at 10:30, reading, studying, doing whatever it happens to
Right.
be, and I have zero problem waking up early.
Yeah, no, I actually don't use an alarm, and people think that's like crazy. They say you can get up that early without an alarm. I'm like, yeah.
It's actually interesting to start today's meeting about discussing about how many hours is put into a good game plan, when you start it, how you massage it. Because I can absolutely tell you, I can't even tell you how many emails that I get about the process and that kind of stuff. And it really depends on your bandwidth and your experience, because if you don't have a lot of experience, it should not take you that long, because you really don't have you don't have the track record yet to be building a game plan that could take hours.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be looking at that much stuff. I guess is the way I'm wording. You shouldn't have like a signal for everything. You shouldn't have a gigantic list. You don't have the memory bank yet to do that.
Right. William, is there any volume in that ETF? I didn't.
228,000 yesterday.
Yeah, I'd
They all
stay
got
away from that.
clobbered. All of those stocks got hit.
Yeah, there was actually news. They're all lowering their prices. There's a lot of competition out there. So all of them got really hit yesterday.
When is the government just going to take over that industry? And
Yeah,
just,
really.
where there's really no competition. They just book flights and they break even on.
Right. Yeah, BABA was a great one yesterday, Robin, and it's continuing today. That was just when it finally broke out.
What's
It was
interesting about that was, we started talking about that about 10 days ago for multiple reasons. So the group really nailed that one.
right. Remember all those inside, and remember we were in that little range. Oh yeah, here you have it up now. Yeah, that was probably the best trade yesterday.
That it actually closed strong too. I mean, yeah,
Right.
actually, Marion, you nailed exactly yesterday with the two-way volatility right
Yeah,
into the level.
I was hoping everybody would listen to the fact that the first move is so often not the right move, not the real move. And it's great because then you can, when you see it starting to weaken, you get that topping tail and it starts to come down. I mean, if you want to, I guess if you want to sell it, or else buy puts, it gave you some nice action yesterday.
It's interesting because you always have to put in the context of how experienced you are as a trader, and
Right.
I obviously am very against anybody who's new trading that type of environment for that
I agree.
exact reason.
Right. I actually agree with you. I'm not advocating it at all. And there's been days I've been caught in that type of trade too. So, but I knew to get out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh no, I wasn't implying that you were telling about trade. I was
Yeah.
just more, uh, to really succeed as a trader, you always have to be sitting at your screen, um, constantly telling yourself, do I have an edge here? And that is, it's tempting to get involved with the volatility because all you have in your mind is, well, if I'm right, which basically that's even admitting you're guessing on on a day like that, but how
Mm.
much money I can make in such a short period of time. But yeah, we're day trading, but we're still doing this for the long term, which means we're going to make a lot of trades, and we always want those trades to be we're putting money in harm's way because we feel like there's a very good chance we're going to make money on it. That's,
Right. True.
and then yesterday was a textbook, explosion to the upside, and then just an absolute collapse. And I know I've seen it hundreds of times where inexperienced traders will be sitting in that and saying, no, it's just a pullback. No, it's just a pullback, and it comes all the way back down to where it started. And
Yeah.
you blow your entire day, maybe even your week if you get stubborn. The fact that it explodes like that and doesn't come back.